for Tim, and we go into the last game, which might be the premier game of the day. Shoop versus Gladstone, who, like I said, I'm pretty sure Gladstone, oh, it's A that I'm hitting. Yeah, okay, thanks. Alright, so spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map. As the red Protoss, we have Kakulza, aka Shoop. And in the top left, as the blue Terran, we have Gladstone, who I'm pretty confident is SMI, so I'm expecting him. SMI was a solid clan. That was mostly guys that were like at least C, C+, I cup with plenty of B-, maybe some B guys on their team. So this should be a pretty solid matchup, and Shoop is a solid Protoss. I don't know who is favored, but we could still have an hour of games left to go. Maybe an hour and a half if we get 3 long games. Also, so far, every game has been a 2-0, which I guess is sort of fortunate because if they wouldn't have all been 2-0s, this cast would definitely be getting out of hand long. We're already at 4 hours, 15 minutes, and counting. Alright, so everything looks pretty normal here. So far. Anywhere? Get there? Geht er und auf Gas? Ja, alright. And the barracks for Gladstone. As we wait to see if he will take gas, which he will. So everything proceeding as expected here on Fighting Spirit. Four and a half, 5-hour casts. Water's a must-have. Must-have. Alright, and SCV going out to scout here. Gladstone, as well as the barracks. Got the core going up. Ah, so core Zealot. So maybe a little bit of Zealot harass here from Shoop. I do remember him liking to do that quite a bit from before. He definitely likes to gate expand in PvZ as well, unless that has changed from a little while ago. What was my best rank on IC Cup? The best I ever laddered to was C-. But there were a lot of like C guys I would practice with, and I traded fairly well, so I was probably to the point where if I would have played 50 to 100 games, I would have made C. So I would say like high C-, low C, but formally C-. When I was playing Protoss main. SCV on the way down. Finding our SCV, what? Did I just mistake a Zealot for an SCV? Has this cast been that long? Am I that tired? Apparently I just did. I don't know. Maybe I've never played StarCraft at all. I'm probably just keyboard rank. I don't think you should listen to anything I'm saying. Oh, shit! Well, this game could be long, this game could be short. Because we have Le Two Factory from Gladstone. He doesn't want to deal with any of this bullshit. He's just going to fucking make factories and just roll over you. Alright, so we got some range going on, as we'd expect, and we're just going to have a 1-gate expand here from Shoop. Dragoon is going to get blocked. Good reaction time, moves that Dragoon right away from there. Sees the fact the SCV's on the ramp is interesting. I wonder if that's in preparation for the Zealots. Actually, this is going to be some pretty decent aggression here from Shoop. There are going to be 2 factories, but we're going to have 2 Dragoons and a Zealot attacking before, right as the first tank pops. That's going to break the ramp quickly. Like, he's getting up the ramp. This tank is going to be scrambling to defend itself. SCV goes down. Tank should be popping right about now. Yes, it is. Alright, so we immediately break the ramp. The tank is there. Now, let's see what these Dragoons can do. They're going immediately for the tank. SCV's out to repair. Is the repair sufficient in time? Yes, it is. No, it's not. So he does get the tank, but he's going to lose the Dragoon. He did not scout, though. I don't believe that there were 2 factories. I don't think he went far enough in. But that did cost Gladstone a lot of money. He was not able to make tanks from both factories. He has continued making Marines, though, and resecured his base. Shoop Whooper now killing off the SCV, getting his Robo, getting his Nexus, so he's definitely still in danger from this 2-fact. This is like not held by any stretch of the imagination. If he would have gotten in there, immediately sniped off the tank, and seen everything, I'd feel a bit better for him. But like, he's not panicking to throw down more gateways. He does not know, he does not even suspect that this is 2-factory. So this could still be a scary moment. We can see Shop going down. We're researching mines and sieges, kind of an everything 2-fact right now. And here we go. We're going to rally speed volts across with... Actually, no, we're not. Ooh, these vultures, unless he's already got speed, which I don't believe he does. Does he? No. So that's a little unfortunate. His rally of vultures is not going to be fast. He opted for siege and mines before speed rally. I thought he was going to get speed so he could rally the vultures across the map really quick, but he's not done that. So, I don't know. Let's see. Shoop Whooper's definitely setting up. Now he's adding gateways. Let's see if he can handle this. SCV here to tank the damage. 2 tanks. Moving forward, that's pretty scary when you see 4 Marines, 2 tanks against just 3 of your Dragoons. And mines are immediately being laid. Now 4 Dragoons out from Shoop Whooper. Good micro so far. Nice shots on the mines, keeping the mines from getting laid. Trying to target fire down the tank. Almost gets it, but not quite. Now this second vulture should seem a little bit fast. Tank sieges up. That can be risky, though. Sieging up a first tank that fast. Shoop Whooper moves in, goes for the tank. Doesn't quite get it, though. And now he is under fire. And these vultures can start to lay mines out in front of these tanks and begin the containment process. Nice SCV brought over for the repair. 3 gateways from Shoop Whooper. Oh, he's a long ways away from more Dragoons, though. This looks very strong for Gladstone right now. Is he making a shuttle? He is making a shuttle. He's going to get the obs out first. He's adding a 4th gateway, but already the Nexus is in range. Lots of mines are being laid here. Good micro from Shoop Whooper, though. I got to give him credit. Ooh, but Gladstone maybe missing a little bit of macro here. And the only thing he needs to do now is to start walling Shoop Whooper in and possibly sending a few more tanks on. Actually, the fact that Gladstone doesn't have a crazy train of reinforcements coming across the map, and it does not have anything for turrets and mines, he might not actually hold this. Or Shoop Whooper might be able to hold this. That's a lot of mines to break through, but with a shuttle to drop and a few zealots popping out, he's got a chance, depending on how this goes down. The lack of turrets, the lack of like a bunker or some depots out here, I feel like it's really hard. Oh, but Shoop Whooper loses. Okay, so that... Alright, even if he breaks this, that's already kind of a win for Gladstone. Unfortunately, loses a Dragoon there. This tank is pretty weak, though. He's got a good chance to break this. It's not being reinforced, in fact. It doesn't look like. So... yeah. But losing the Nexus hurts. Yeah, losing the Nexus hurts. Alright, here we go. 2 zealots. Can we drag the mines? Oh, I don't... what? That was a weird way of trying to approach that. I would have been going for the mines. Still a bit of a distraction. Still a bit of a distraction. Oh, actually, is he going to get it? This is... okay, he's going to get it. Oh, okay. Gladstone, I like the idea. Doesn't work out. Does allow Shoop Whooper to break this. Can come down and re-expand, but Gladstone needs to deal with the threat of Bulldog, but economically he's in pretty good shape now. Opting to expand behind this rather than continue the constant unit production. But let's remember, 4-gate with Protoss, a lot of production, especially with a shuttle out. That's marginally scary. Maybe more than marginally. I mean, he's only got 3 tanks. A shuttle that comes in there and bulldogs that takes out 3 tanks pretty easily. Ob's on the way. Alright, he's gonna see this and think, okay. Alright, moving a tank to the high ground for defensive purposes. Adding a 3rd factory. Floating out over here to look for any shuttle. Observer dies. Now, is Shoop Whooper gonna move out, or is he scared of vultures? Questions, questions, questions. All kinds of Dragoons popping out. Did he make zealots for a shuttle? Only 2. Oh no, that's not as strong for bulldogging. Bunch of mines over here. Probe cannot take that expansion. I don't know, maybe Shoop Whooper's not going to be aggressive. Interesting. But now there's starting to be some pretty decent tank count here from Gladstone. A few more vultures, some mines, he'll be almost completely safe now. Especially as these factories come up. I think Shoop the Whipper's just gonna miss the window if he was ever gonna try that. Not gonna happen now. Just gonna come in here, clear out this vulture, and expand to his third base. And try to do his best playing from a little bit behind. I mean, we can see his Nexus is still not done. So painful for Protoss. Given the factory count now, I have a feeling that Gladstone is just going to timing and possibly overwhelm him. I mean, what do we have? We have a group here. A little over... Oh, we still have a decent Dragoon count, actually. We still have a group and a half of Dragoons. But these factories are starting to kick in now, and he's on more factories than gateways. And, you know, he's trying to double expand. So now we've got relatively even economies. Scanners going down. Really good pylon coverage of the base. I do like that. Like the vision of Protoss here, even if it's unintentional, it's pretty fucking fantastic. Like if there was dropship, there's no way a dropship is getting in. Now, is he getting leg speed? Oh, he's going to start getting leg speed, so that will help. But 4 gateways, as time goes on, 4 gateways against 5 factories, bit of a challenge here. Alright, killing the turret so he can get out. Finally gets his tanks to help out. Vultures, obviously, killing buildings at an incredibly slow rate. Now Shoop is like, oh, okay. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Got an obs. Really, really worried about drops, honestly. Getting a Maynard probes over there now. Is this going to trigger more gateways? Because Shoop is going to need more gateways unless he just crushes the first part of Gladstone's push. But I'm not expecting that to happen. That is a lot of tanks. Pretty good setup of the tanks, too. Some initial sieging going up now. Continuing to move forward with some of the tanks. Already immediately leapfrogging the tanks. And Shoop is going to try to come from both sides. We got a shuttle coming around. Let's see if Shoop can get it done. Gladstone's going to need to target fire on top of those Dragoons. But actually, Shoop has a boatload of Dragoons. And it might be enough of an arc to take this, although there are still a lot of tanks alive. And I don't know, is it enough? Is it enough? It is going to be close, and actually, Shoop might break him. Might, but no, there's no reinforcements coming. So in the end, Gladstone's going to hold this position, and Shoop is going to be forced back, and now the panic gateway is going down, but now it's Gladstone reinforcing out of 5 factories compared to Shoop 4 gateways, and I don't think that is going to be enough as these vultures come racing across the map here. Zealots being picked off, and Gladstone moving into the natural, ready to siege those tanks up back on top of the natural. That's going to kill Shoop mining there, and getting mined up at the front, more reinforcing vultures, and all Shoop can do is say GG. What is this one? R? R. So Gladstone takes game number 1. Alright, so if we're going to see a series that goes more than 2 games, Shoop is going to need to win this game right here on Circuit Breaker. He's opted to play more macro, opted for the wide open map, and trying to get his vengeance on Gladstone. Prevent the 3-0. How do I keep hitting A? I swear to God. So spawning in the top left-hand corner as the red Protoss, we have Shoop and on the right-hand side as the orange Terran, we have Gladstone. No super fast probe here from Shoop so we are going to play macro. No, that's premature, but we're not going to like proxy gateways. But as far as I know, Shoop is generally a fairly macro favoring player. So our pylon, our usual stuff, and like I said, I mean, I feel like, you know, I know Shoop is good. I mean, we saw it too in the last game. Like even with all the attacks and stuff, you saw both players, like, their minerals were quite low. I mean, it was... I feel like they're probably two of the stronger players in Tier 1, and that was reflected in some of the things we saw in that game. And just the army control generally looked pretty... Shoop to Whooper's last attack there, to try to defend that, honestly, that was pretty good Goon arc, pretty good attack. Just Gladstone just had a little too much, in all honesty. But I still feel like I'm inclined to say Gladstone's favored. I mean, he looked reasonably good in that first game. And just given his SMI history, you know, I think he is probably marginally favored over Shoop to Whooper. Although you know, certain parts of his pushing looked good, but certain parts didn't look quite as good. I don't know. It's hard to tell. We'll see. We'll see where this game takes us. Cybercore coming up and Pylon. So yeah, looking pretty ordinary. Okay, so again, Shoop to Whooper does like that harass cell. It does like to apply early game pressure. And we've got our factory up. Factory. Zealot heading out across the bridges. Gonna try to intercept the SCV. No, not gonna try to intercept the SCV. Okay, we got range. Getting range, going relatively standard opening. Now it's pretty much you're in the realm of standard. Like he's not 10-15ing. He's not getting DTs. He's not going for Reaver. All that kind of stuff. It's just gonna be some normal macro PvT. Same thing. Well, we can't confirm the same thing from Gladstone yet. We can take a look though and see he's only got one on gas, and then confirm the same thing. Just gonna be an FD. Gonna go into a macro game. So we won't have too much going on here for the next couple minutes. This SC or this Zealot. Actually, he just likes to make the Zealot to scout with. Doesn't he want to send out a probe? Zealot will obviously not be able to do anything. There'll be 4 Marines and a tank probably out or close to out before the Vulture gets there. Before the Zealot gets there. Jeez, this has been too long. I think 4 hours and 30 minutes is kind of testing the limits for what I can do right now. It's been a long time since I've casted this long. My brain is starting to go to mush. I'm just saying some random things at times. Apologies. Apologies. Alright, 3rd degree on the way. 28 Nexus, 29 Nexus. Maybe you save a probe, honestly. Sending the Zealot out as a scout. Does save you some minerals for obvious reasons. Oh, he's making a lot, though. A lot of Marines. 6 Marines here. Okay, he's going to stop at 6. Oh! Okay. Not going to get in. Gets stuck in the little nook. Almost finds a way to sneak in. Alright, FDZ moves out across the map. Oh, Zealot sees it. Okay. Zealot's a bit annoying. Oh! Blocking from Gladstone. Getting most of that health down off that Zealot. Vulture on the way. 2nd Vulture also on the way. Robo. Oh, very fast Robo. So Shoop to Whooper feeling confident is micro, and honestly, from everything I've seen in Shoop to Whooper, has pretty good early game engagement micro most of the time. We saw that defending the push last time. Let's see if he can keep it nice and tight here. This is where it's always tricky. You got to reposition those goons like mad once they start to misbehave. But he's just going to retreat to the bridges. Got his 4th Dragoon out now. Got his Zealot out. We'll see if Gladstone even wants to go further than this or just wants a few mines at the bridge. Alright, so Shoop to Whooper, yeah, just going to defend the bridges, and Gladstone going to turn around and go home. Realizes, yep, Shoop to Whooper's had enough time. I'm just going to go home. Getting up that academy for those scans. Not knowing what's coming next. And Shoop to Whooper adding 2 gateways as well. Vulture well positioned over here, but look at this beautiful defense. Can see the edges of those bridges if Vultures come that way, so good little setup there from Shoop to Whooper. And 2nd factory, siege. And just again, nice Vulture scouting, nice coverage. Getting all the key places checked out to see what Shoop to Whooper might be doing. If a Zealot can ride a Vulture bike, I don't know. If Zealots couldn't ride Vulture bikes, then I would probably just have to completely quit Protoss altogether, because if you don't ride bikes, that's a little depressing. Like on a 1 to 10 scale, that's at least a 5 or a 6 in terms of how depressing it is. Alright, so eBay. So just getting up all of his stuff. And then we'll see if he's gonna timing push again or do things a bit differently. First obs out there for Shoop. Scans going down. And okay, so scans, sees there's not an ass load of gateways, whatever, says, alright, well, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick third base ourselves. Pretty annoying spot, honestly, to play against Terran for Protoss. Like, you really don't want to take this base. Because Terran comes here, they creep to here, and then they just kind of creep, and it's very annoying to play against. So we'll probably get Shoop to Whooper playing more of a vertical game here. If he takes this base, I'll be genuinely surprised. You can see he's already clearing out mines over here on this side now with an obs, taking those three Dragoons and getting a look at what's going on. Oh, good paying attention there. Got a few tanks coming out, actually just one tank. Do we have an armory anywhere? Yes we do. Alright, clearing out the vultures and the mines over here. +1 starts for Gladstone. Command center spotted. Observer stays alive. So just gonna move it, I think, to the front now. Ooh, is he gonna go out? No, I'm probably not gonna go out and hunt it. Be cool if he did, though. Oh, wow. Playing very conservatively. Very safe. And Shoop to Whooper also playing safe against any sort of drop action. Getting a Citadel up, taking the third base. Again, yeah, as expected, was not going to take the base over here. And a small contingent of Dragoons just clearing. And we can see gates coming down here from Gladstone. Going to be a little bit ahead of Shoop to Whooper's production here, but I don't think we'll see too much in the way of aggression from Gladstone. Trying to make timings like that against the Protoss expanding like this is risky. But he's going to go ahead and move his army into position. Has not thought or noticed that the Observer went over to there to scan for it. So the Observer is going to be seeing this army moving out. And Shoop to Whooper actually has a decent army right now. He's got a shuttle out, and there's a gateway explosion from Shoop to Whooper. So now the economy is starting to kick in shortly, putting those 8 gates down in preparation. And is he going to go for it? That is a bold move. He is attacking from the high ground. Tank's very nicely positioned away, though, so they don't really have to attack and fight like from right below the high ground. A few more tanks coming out, and also the first few vultures, as well as vulture speed here for Gladstone. And his starport. So he wants those vessels out fairly quick. He'll definitely have great vessel to arbiter timing, that's for sure. Oh, well, now Gladstone knows, putting up a depot there to kind of block this off, and Shoop to Whooper is just gonna... Oh, right now he's just chilling at the high ground pod. Just comfortable being up there, just like, yeah, I like it, I'll stay here. Academy up. Zealot for bombing. And just moving into mass Zealot production. Legs are about done. Usually you start making Zealots about 50% legs, because it's roughly the build time of a Zealot. Works out pretty well. If you're ever defending a timing push and you need to know if you should make Goons or Zealots, well, if your legs are not more than 50% done, you're going to have slow lots for a little while, so usually Dragoons are going to be a better option than slow lots. Stargate, a bit slow compared to the Archives, but maybe he wants to get some Templar out first. Does he have a forge yet? Probably. No. Actually, a few vultures are going to sneak out here on the map here for Gladstone. Only 2, though. So he's going to get a little bit more presence on the map. Is he adding a forge anywhere? It doesn't look like it. Alright, so very forgeless play here from Shoop to Whooper. And it's giving him a nice supply lead. As a result, not cutting any corners for any of that kind of stuff, and moving immediately into a pretty high gate count. Still thinking about pressuring down here, but man, that setup, that's not going to go well. Yeah, he's going to try this. This is ballsy. I don't know if this is a good decision. He had a pretty comfortable lead, but the Dragoons are just going to clump like crazy, and the Zealots instantly evaporate. He's got to pull back like right now. He really wants to break in here, but this is not worth it. Shoop losing a lot of his goons, still trying to pick off a few units. Alright, if you're outside the range of the tanks, then sure. Sure, smart. Gonna send over some Zealots to continue to reinforce this and commit quite a bit to breaking Gladstone's position here. Alright, now moving in. He does have Dragoons attacking the command center. Tanks moving their way into position. And Shoop mostly playing this positional. I don't think he's actually going to commit to running in here. But he lost a lot of supply doing that. He gave away quite a few units for that attack. I don't think it was worth it. Just to kill some Marines in a bunker and a depot and be disruptive. Finds that Vulture, finally kills it off. Zealot coming down here, presumably to clear mines and or check for Vultures. And we should have... Oh, a little late on the Arbiter Tribunal as well. So Arbiters are getting a bit slowed down for Shoop, which might be concerning as this game goes on. Like, if Gladstone gets near max before you have Arbiters, that's usually pretty unpleasant, playing against a Terran like that. Oh, Shoop sends in an Observer. Or a Goon. A little too close. Alright, now we're getting a Forge. A very vulnerable Forge, might I add. If that third location gets pushed and goes down from the low ground, say bye-bye to any future upgrades. Tribunal just about done, only at the 13-minute mark, so yeah, very slow Arbiters here. He'll have a few before he maxed, though. Given that attack, his supply didn't exactly shoot up. Kind of took it back a bit. Arbiter, please? Maybe Arbiter? It's going to be some very slow ARB timing. If he's not careful, he's going to max with, like, I don't know, one Arbiter? Which you really don't want to do. That's just not enough. Okay, so he has cleared that out, but he hasn't cleared out the mine down here. Okay, he does start his Arbiter, but he's got to be careful, because if he does another round of units, he's going to have very low Arbiter count, which is going to make this first attack from Gladstone, first move out from Gladstone, very problematic. Very bold, aggressive Observer attempt, and he gets a reaction from Shoop, but he's already ran away. Alright, is he going to hold? Is he going to hold on production and get a few Arbiters into his mix here? As Gladstone is approaching his max, he's working nicely on his upgrades. Going to have that 2-1 out here fairly soon, or at least that 2-0. Now, is he going to hold off on maxing? It doesn't look like it. And has he made any Templar? No, he's not made any Templar either. He's not either. Oh, he's getting good Storm. If he makes some Templar, that's a little bit of a compromise that can work. Ooh, and Gladstone moving out a little bit on the early side. Gladstone is not maxed and trying to move over the bridges. This might not be the best first engagement here from Gladstone. Shoop looks to have a pretty good arc set up and all of Circuit Breaker's middle to work with. Not the biggest army we've ever seen from Terran, just a group of Vultures and some tanks. And Shoop army looks positively huge. Honestly, I'm scared for him. I don't see how Protoss doesn't just devour this army. Let's see how this goes. That is a huge Protoss army just raining down on Gladstone right now, and it's a beautiful arc. Units everywhere. Vultures, Goliaths fighting tons of Dragoons in the force, though, and a very well-controlled engagement here from Shoop, and it does start exactly as one would expect, with a dominating victory for Shoop. And yeah, against a ground army that big, Gladstone just pulled the trigger too soon. That was just not the time to move out. Oh no, where is Shoop going to go from here? He is taking the rest of the map, that's good. And this will allow him to get a few Arbiters in his mix. I can't tell if he's overdoing it, though. He's still got a lot of units left, but reinforcements are not exactly streaming in right now. And all the Zealots are gone, and is Shoop throwing away some of his advantage? I think he might have. Got a little too aggressive trying to just win right there, and now we can see it's pretty much back to parity. Actually, Gladstone with a subtle supply advantage. Shoop giving up almost all of his army in that fight. So close to having it, and then not. So Gladstone's probably like, in his head, he's like, yes, thank you, Protoss. That was so nice of you. Give me back that big lead. Or give up your big lead that you just got. We've got an Arbiter out. Right now we got 2 Stargate Arbiter. I like that. Good Arbiter production in there. No Templar being made at this point yet, but again, we can see the gas is very low. He's not started mining the 5 gas. Something being loaded up. Dropship being loaded up here. And, oh, we're taking the bottom base. So a quasi-hidden base. To take it down there, that's... He's not pushing on the map. He's not sprawling on the map yet. This is a hidden base. We'll see if he gets wind of it. And we have the dropship going out right now. Ah, nice. Nice. Bunch of mines being laid over here. I'm gonna allow Gladstone to start to move toward taking this base as well. And Shoop the Whipper is working on cannibalizing his side of the map. Lots of Dragoons coming over here. We're going to clear out most of the mines on the ramp. But in comes the dropship with the tank. It needs to go low. Needs to go low. But that will alert Shoop the Whipper to it. And oh no, the vultures are not doing what they're supposed to do. Tank's got to take down the cannons. But we do have a gateway over here making a Dragoon. And immediately Shoop the Whipper sending some army down here. Not the scariest drop of all time. In fact, the probes can continue to mine uncontested and without worry. Just call him Shoop. Yeah, I guess I can just call him Shoop. If you find more than 2 obs, you win. Is he that low on obs? Yeah, I think you might be right. I have not noticed too many obs. Actually, I just found 2 obs. Well, he said more than 2. Does he not have it? You might be right. Oh, no, there's 3. 1, 2, 3. I win. But you're right, it's just 3 obs. Wait, is it, if this, unless, no, this is Zealot. But we can see the command center's been found. Vulture's trying to come over here, but Shoop the Whipper's on top of this. So splitting up armies, moving all over the map. Gonna force the lift off on that bad boy. And honestly, it's probably gonna die. See if the Vultures can defend it. No, they can't. That's a dead command center. So an unfortunate investment there for Gladstone. He gets taken out. Gets punished for trying to be a little bit on the sneaky side. Not gonna get a CC for free like that, but he is establishing his 4th base in the usual location. The only thing he's got to worry about now is Shoop the Whipper kind of cannibalizing his own side of the map. We should see him start to put down a truckload of gateways here. Given his minerals now and being maxed, this should start to rise quite dramatically. Will allow him to keep gateways all over his side of the map. Where's our Arbiter research at? Getting some energy for the Arbiters, then probably some stasis. Got our 1 attack. No further upgrading. Oh, we got a recall over here, folks. We got a recall as we check the upgrades with a High Templar. So let's see how this goes. Good storm number 1, but only 1 storm, unfortunately. And the recall is a bit clumped up, so I don't actually think this recall is doing that much damage. No tanks to splash kill the SCVs, so most of the mining is going to be left up. And these soldiers are going to clean this up, although he does kill the armory that is busy upgrading. So a nice little victory there from Shoop. And finally, the recall is 100% cleaned up. But, oh, he didn't kill it in time. Shit, I thought he killed it in time. But he did not. So actually, that armory kill was completely in vain. Served no purpose. So close, and yet so far away. Good probe spread from Shoop. Maybe can spread him out just a smidge more at this base. But now the only worry for Gladstone is the recalls, which we're about to have another... Oh, but that's going to let him know the Arbiter's there. Where's the vessels? There should be vessels somewhere. There's a vessel, but it's not in place. So, oh, is he just going to chase the dropship, or is this intended to recall? Oh, no. Oh, now he's going to go for the recall, because he's like, oh, it's going to die. That was a pretty weak recall. That recall is not really going to do anything. Gateway is starting to go up in this base. Could probably stand to get a few more gateways up. Oh, this is very vulnerable to recall, though. That would actually be a very... Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be an excellent recall, but I guess he doesn't notice it or isn't aware of it. But he could definitely recall and do some damage over at this base. DT running around. I don't know where it's going. Where did that Arbiter go? Oh, right there. Oh, man, this is, like, so recallable back in here. Ah, would be excellent. Would be most excellent. Would be most excellent for Shoop, but he's not found the weak point. Oh, maybe he's gonna find it now. Yeah, if he... Oh, no, 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 no! No, it's defended over there. Go over here, but of course this is gonna be one of these maybe base tradey situations. Oh, he really wants the main. Oh, that actually gets Gladstone to hightail it and book it back here because he knows he's got no defense. Where's the recall? He's looking for the perfect spot. He puts it down. It's a decent recall, but Gladstone is wise to it, so he should be able to scramble back there, but he will likely lose his starport in the process, and possibly his science facility as well, which will be quite annoying for keeping that vessel count nice and low. Not exactly target firing them down, trying to save the one. Will Shoop the Whooper kill it, or will the Dragoons just kind of derp their way into it, into not killing it? It looks like, yeah, they're not going to kill it. Not going to focus that down. Has killed the science facility, though. But in general, the recall being handled fairly well from Gladstone, and not doing a tremendous amount of damage. Now, if that opens the door for further recalls, like if you had another Arbiter going to recall this base right now, this would become incredibly annoying for Shoop the Whooper, but at the moment, I actually don't see that happening. I'm looking on the map. There is an Arbiter stalking, but he's not found what seems to be the weakest point, which is an entrance into the base over here. Yeah, there's some turrets, but I think you can get in there and get a recall down over here, which would be very annoying for Gladstone, for sure. Of course, now again, oh, alright, now we're going to try this spot again. Are we going straight back to the main, or are we going for the fourth? Because another recall to the main might work. But a recall to the... There we go. Now we found it. We massaged our way into the spot. And, bam, we got a recall down here. Only 2 tanks to defend. So again, Gladstone is going to opt to defend. So this part is good for Shoop the Whooper. The Gladstone is being rapidly coming back here to defend. Storm goes down, killing some of the SCVs. Shutting down the mining at the fourth. And actually, no, Gladstone is going to try to push at the same time. And Shoop the Whooper is not expecting this. Now he's going to try to get involved in this. Storm goes down, but that is way too much army to take. So we'll see how Shoop the Whooper deals with this in 2 locations, as well as Gladstone. Action all over the place. Protoss army getting obliterated. Shoop the Whooper is definitely going to lose a couple bases, since there's nothing being made in the gateways right now. And it looks like Gladstone is... No, he's not lost his command center. But he is having trouble getting his units over here to defend this base. And now Gladstone pushing over towards 9 o'clock. That's interesting to see. But that's what happens when games get busy at this level. And Gladstone right now is unable to do anything about this base getting attacked. Nothing at all. Oh no, the Arbiter! Ah! Ha! But the Goliath stopped attacking the Arbiter for reasons unknown. And, alright, so this base is going down. And possibly this base as well. But we have more recalls from Shoop as he moves immediately to hit this base. Not a terrible idea. And only a few vultures over here. GT already over there. Let's see, where's he recalling? What's he recalling? Oh, he doesn't have enough for recall. Never mind. This Arbiter's just going rogue, doing God knows what. And siege at the front. Shoop the Whooper's added a boatload of gateways over here, though, so that might allow him to defend the base. And now, having cleaned up everything over there, he is going to try to push here into the mined-out third base. But that is not... Oh, wait. One of these Arbiters has enough for recall. And this is actually the only remaining mining base for Gladstone. Suddenly, this situation is pretty scary. If the recall goes down... Oh, but it's kind of small. Shoop the Whooper doesn't have that many units. He's actually recalled from here. He's recalled from here, not from here, which is surprising. He's basically saying, no, this base is going to die. That's okay. I'm a bit surprised that he opted to recall from that particular location. Now, can Gladstone get over here and save this base? He really needs to. And the Arbiter goes down pretty quick. Science Vessel has not laid down an EMP. Shoop targets that down. Yeah, this is going to be saved. If Gladstone can get these vultures to not fuck him over. And most of Shoop the Whooper's mining... Oh, wow, this game has changed radically. Shoop the Whooper is down to just 1 mining base as well. So, remember, this command center's still alive, too. A lot of units still out for both players. But Shoop the Whooper now down to just 1 mining base. Now, is Gladstone going to bring most of this stuff back home? Well, what is his game plan here? Because now we're in low eco PvP. Oh, potential? No. Petered out. Petered out. Petered out. Alright, so Shoop the Whooper breaks free down at this base. Still a huge bank for Shoop the Whooper. A modest bank for Gladstone, especially in gas. Lots of vultures coming up. Not lots of anything else. Seeing the way Shoop the Whooper is keeping his army collected, I feel like he wants to continue the recall game. But remember, he's lost a lot of his mining. He's also got, like, no gas now. Oh, he's gas broke as fuck. Well, no, he's still got a bank, but if he doesn't start mining more gas, he's about to be gas broke as fuck. Right now, nothing happening for Shoop Just trying to keep this base alive, I guess. Trying to save those probes with some cloak. And his army. And in the meantime, Gladstone just setting up his base over here at 3 o'clock. Oops, something just died to that army. Lenexos. So Shoop is going to try to get a second mining base. And Gladstone is going to push at near maxed out. Got his 3-2 rolling. Shoop I don't think has very good upgrades. Yeah, he does not have very good upgrades right now. So Terran army is a bit strong, a bit beefy. A bit tough for a gateway heavy army to fight. Although Shoop does have a large gateway army to work with here against Gladstone in the middle. Now, where's Gladstone going to go? It's tricky for him because he wants to go down here and get these bases, but oh wow, okay, that was weird. Shoop is trying to find an angle, trying to get up on top of the high ground pod, but Gladstone is like just sieged in a way to prevent him from doing that. And oh my god, that is a pretty solid stasis. Does he get another one? No, he does not. That actually didn't end up being quite as insane as I thought, but pretty annoying to get both of his vessels because now he's got a scan. If there's still an Arbiter around, which actually there is not. Oh, this Arbiter is still killing the vultures. Ah! Ooh! Ooh! When did? Oh, must have been getting ready for the Shoop pulled his stuff away. That's going to cost him his bottom right Nexus. But he does have this Nexus back up now. So Shoop is threatening to move to like 3 mining bases. So if Gladstone just sits for too long, it's going to get rough for him, but I think what he wants to do now is just kind of take his half of the map. A bunch of Goliaths showing up. Oh, but he can recall if he wants to save this. It seems that he does not, though. And now he's recollecting his rather large, beefy gateway army. And he has maintained a very beefy army this entire game. Alright, so that Nexus is assassinated. And now I guess it's a battle right now for Gladstone. Well, Gladstone could just take this base and that base. Or he could try to push to this side, but we'll see what happens right now. Lots of Protoss running in here. Shoop going for a major attack, and Gladstone trying to pull everything back up here against the walls, hugging them strongly. And wow, that is another huge army, but it looks very Dragoon heavy against just an absolute tremendous number of tanks. It's going to get nowhere against that, and Shoop is going to be forced to pull backwards. Just way too many tanks for that kind of Dragoon army. That's at least 2.5 groups, if I'm seeing that right, just stacked up deep. And now Shoop doesn't have that much, and can Gladstone push across the map, because that would take care of all of Shoop mining but one mineral-only base. And it looks like, ooh, we're going to have a counter here, but it's scanned, so Gladstone is probably going to move on top of this counter, not going to let his right side bases that he's trying to set up here go down. See, on top of that mining, assassinating these Templar, moving up over the high ground now, chasing Shoop away, sending some vultures over there, picking off a few of the probes at the top base, and Gladstone playing this pretty well. Unfortunately, Shoop just not realizing how deep that tank line was. We got a few Zealots coming over here, which is obnoxious, but there's no mining here. I don't think Gladstone's really going to sweat bullets about this. He's got a few tanks at home. He might initially freak out and think, oh my god, counter, but then he's going to be like, it's just like 5 Protoss units, whatever. Leaves a few vultures there. Is he going to leave any tanks behind to defend this at all? Does not seem like it. So he is going to come all the way. I'm surprised at that decision. I guess he just doesn't want to open potential floodgates. He needs to bring a vessel to finish off his DT. But looking at the supply difference, you know, Shoop is just kind of... It feels like he should be macroing a little bit faster, because he is still on, like... Well, okay. We've been a little... Never mind. He's only... That's why he just has not resaturated his probes, and it's really hurting him right now. I mean, a lot of the time that doesn't really matter, but in this case it's hurting him very bad. It's really crippling his macro. And I mean, he's 125 supply Protoss against a maxed out Terran. That's not where you want to be. Even if he does still have a pretty large gateway army. And I don't know where the fuck this command center's going. It's going on a fucking journey. Yeah, I think it's going to 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock or something. Alright, so Gladstone with his big army just kind of trucking around, setting up in the middle, deciding where he wants to push to, chasing Shoop to Whooper up some ramps. And Shoop to Whooper is probably sitting here thinking, shit, 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 shit. Oh! Actually, he's not thinking shit, shit, shit. He's thinking, I'm going to recall Arbiters, which are then going to make a recall. Does one of them have enough to recall? Or is this... No. Alright, well, 1 EMP. Okay. Okay. Okay, EMP. Wait, he missed the Arbiters. So it's buying Shoop to Whooper time, and we have Maynarded out workers now, so we're getting a little more saturation. But this recall not proving to be terribly threatening, as the number of units recalled was like 6 plus 3 Arbiters. But he does escape with 1 Arbiter, so that's not terribly costly in terms of Arbiter cost. And of course, I'm sure Shoop to Whooper's still at like 1-0 upgrades because he lost his forges at that vulnerable third base location. So yeah, he's fighting a pretty uphill battle here. Very heavy gateway force against a heavily upgraded Terran army, poor upgrades of his own, and he just isn't really hitting primo stasises. He almost had that window where you just cause infinite problems with recall. Oh, look at that asshole. Look at that. I'm gonna trigger a mine though. But now Gladstone's starting to get an economy rolling again. Pretty maxed. We've got one more recall attempt here at the main. It's a decent one for sure. Gladstone's probably like, ah, this is driving me insane. It's like Shoop to Whooper's reestablishing a foothold and I did not want that. Very aggressively running into the main too. It's going to allow Shoop to Whooper to trade somewhat efficiently, but you know, Gladstone is marching in. It's a shame Shoop to Whooper's not saturating this. If he got to like 3-base saturation, you know, then he could start to make a stand of it against Gladstone running off 2 bases. But he just doesn't have enough units right now. And I mean, these recalls are doing some stuff, but not that much stuff. And these little attacks are pretty cute. They're doing all right for him. I like the fact that Gladstone's gotten a factory over here, gotten some tanks set up at this base. Just the lack of defense here is a bit of a concern. And one thing that Shoop to Whooper's doing a good job of, it helps that Gladstone has no turrets, but Shoop to Whooper's doing a pretty good job, I think, as far as I can tell, of keeping most of his Arbiters alive, which is allowing him to return for these recalls pretty easily without spending deep, deep, deep into his gas bank. Now keep in mind, mining from Gladstone is still pretty rough. Like, this base is going good, but like, I mean, if we look at the economies of these players, unfortunately Shoop is mined out here. Really needs to get the probes up there. So we got oh well, no, it's still thinner for Shoop. Wow, these Dragoons are proving to be utterly invincible. Gladstone is having to take so much time, and another recall down here from Shoop to Whooper. He is playing his best, trying to break Gladstone here at this bottom base, and maybe he's gonna do it. I don't know. Gladstone's still holding the supply advantage, but Shoop to Whooper's just all over the place with these recalls, trying to send in the rest of his army now and take advantage of Gladstone being out of position AF, which he certainly is. And yeah, right now Shoop to Whooper's army is raining death down on Gladstone, although keep in mind, Gladstone's still holding 2 bases. He's probably not feeling as comfortable as he was, though. He just donated most of his army. Not most, but 1/3 chunk. He's still got this Dragoon and Arbiter annoying the shit out of him up in his base, up in his top base. And now he's got to deal with a bunch of Protoss down here that's cloaked that he's walking right into. Gladstone needs scans. He needs something here. I guess he's just going to bulldog this down. The Arbiter runs away at an inopportune time. And he's finally just going to kind of power through this. Oh, look at that. Two storms on that Templar, still controlling this bottom base. But, I mean, let's face it, Gladstone is hypothetically still mining 2 bases. We're finally getting at least a few probes going here, and has a probe in place to take this bottom nexus. Alright, so finally gets rid of that Arbiter, but and keep in mind, Shoop just moved this, so he's aware that it has enough energy to recall. So yeah, this game is turning into a bit of a moderate to low eco sort of nail-biter game. Oh, he's gonna go for it again, but does he have an army here? Collect your shit, bro. Collect your shit! It's like, it's gonna be the smallest recall of all time. I'm assuming it's gonna come from here. He's going, wait. Oh, that was not a beefy recall. That could have been better. Maybe some godly storms will do some damage, but that was honestly not the recall of terror. That was a whiff. There we go. There's a hit. But now all of a sudden he's recalled all of his army. Some panic storms going down, but I think Shoop just lost one of his 2 remaining mining bases. Yeah. It certainly looks that way. Maybe a recall? Does he have any arbiters left? Maybe some great storms? That Templar gets assassinated pretty quickly. Trying to bring back this army. This base is still pretty well defended from the high ground. His last... Does he have any arbiters? No, he's ran out of arbiters. Oh, he stopped making arbiters. If he had a recall here of something decent, or 2 good stasis, an outside chance, maybe? Last gasp attack here, but I don't know. It's starting to look like Shoop might be out of options, and there it is. GG. Hard fought game number 2, but Gladstone again takes it 2-0 over Shoop. Every single set today, a 2-0 set.